Stuff. Great morning, great morning, great morning. You guys come on in, come on in, come on in. Hey, y'all. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Come on in. Miss Madison's coming in. You coming in? Hmm? Big Mama's baby coming in. Hmm? Great morning, Kim. How you doing? Oh, y'all see me with my mini me? Come on in. Y'all share the broadcast. She said, "Hey, Madison." Kim said, "Hey, Madison." Madison looked at me like, "Lady, you coughing?" Yeah, she was looking at me like, "You coughing? What you doing, lady? Don't come over here because you see my Gatorade." Y'all come on. Lord, I'm excited about this word this morning. Good morning, Jackie. Alabama in the building. Too hot for clothes, girl. That's her. Hey, sissy. Look, y'all, she trying to get the gate. Girl, I can't give you no Gatorade and talk to the people at the same time. You got to wait a minute. Y'all go ahead, share the broadcast, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Mm. There is definitely a word from the Lord today. Yeah, this girl over here trying to walk. She's 10 months old. Is it even 10? What's this? June, July, August, September. Girl, no. Mm-mm. She 9 months. Over here trying to walk, y'all. Too grown for her own good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she trying to walk on the bed. Yeah, she's a beast. She's a beast this morning. Rhonda, you want this for her? So listen, y'all, this weekend has been all about assignment. I'm so grateful that when you understand the assignment, when you understand your assignment, then you can be focused and get done what you need to get done. My cousin understood that on this trip, she was to support me, encourage me, and all of that. But she also understood that there was a word that she had to deliver yesterday. And she did just that. We have been committed to our assignment from the moment that we got into the vehicle on Friday and started our journey. And we understand that the assignment is not quite yet finished. Now I know she's gonna be over there like, what you mean the assignment is not quite yet finished? Like, what are you talking about? Listen, it's time to go. You know, when you know that God has shifted you, there will often be a pull on you that is uncommon. It's an uncommon pull. And you may not understand all of the dynamics of it. You may not understand all of the logistics of it. You may not understand all of that. But what you do understand, what you know, you know. Somebody said that. What you know, you know. If you know, you know, right? And so you got to walk that thing out. We spend so much time monitoring everybody else's assignment and not enough time understanding our own assignment. When you understand it, then the only thing that's separating you from completing it is you. You have to know your assignment, know what it is that God is doing, know enough just to walk. You don't have to get it all right. You don't have to understand every detail, but you got to know enough to go. You got to know enough to take that first step. You got to know enough to begin to move. All God needs from you is movement. When you begin to move, he begins to match your moves. See, it's something that about God, like you take one step, he takes two. No. We're in a season where you take one step, God takes five. Where you take one step, God takes five. Listen, he is multiplying our steps and our effort in order for what? In order for him to be glorified. God wants to be glorified in the earth. He needs to be glorified in the earth. And that glorification comes through us completing our assignment. We go from glory to glory. And all of that is about, hold on, y'all, let me put it on DND. All of that is about us really tapping in and getting what God's doing. All weekend, I've heard the song You Are. All weekend, I've just heard that particular song playing over and over and over in my head. God is multiplying, magnifying, increasing, not through addition or decreasing through subtraction. He is increasing through multiplication. He's Brooklyn snatched her hand from me, y'all. Good morning, baby. Good morning. So when you understand that, you can take the steps that you need to take, do the things that you need to do, and get done what God is calling you to get done. So yesterday, one of my many assignments is to reactivate and re-engage God's people. Pastor RJ, if I don't see you before I leave, we got a problem, sir. I know you called me. I'm gonna call you today, this morning. You just answer the phone, okay? When you understand that, then you can move. See, so check this out. When I left Tampa in January, I had no idea I would end up in Colombia, but I knew that God was shifting me. I knew he was moving me, and I went, right? Sometimes God wants to know, will you go? Sometimes he wants to know, will you do? Sometimes he wants to know, will you say? When it's uncomfortable, when it doesn't make sense, when it seems scary, will you do it anyway? And then what he does is he rewards us for our what? Obedience. Yesterday my cousin was talking about obedience and the importance of obedience. Like when you are obedient to God, there is reward with that. God rewards you for your obedience. Like I'm telling you, he rewards you with your obedience. Yes, I'm on tour, RJ. He rewards you with your obedience. When you are obedient to God, he will reward you. He says that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. When you diligently seek him, his will for your life, your purpose, and your destiny show up because you're like, God, what is it that you want from me? What is it that you, and sometimes, check this out. Sometimes what he wants is to build your character. Did y'all hear what I said? Sometimes he wants to build your character. And it is often when we are in our most challenging places that our character is the most greatly tested. But it is not um how we are in that moment, it's what we do with the moment. Like literally, you can be in the midst of so much pain, but be able to allow God to minister to your spirit so that you can come out on the other side like pure gold, come out on the other side refined, come out on the other side having endured the pressure and maintained your sanity, having endured the pressure and gotten through to the other side. God is just wanting to get you to the other side. Will you go to the other side? I remember there are plenty of stories in the Bible about Jesus after he ministered, and then he's like, "Listen, I'm gonna go to the other side." And the disciples were trying to go with him. It's like, "No, y'all don't go with me. Y'all come over there, but I'm gonna go on ahead, right?" And it was in that moment that he walked on the water, got to the other, like, like what what you doing, Jesus? What you doing? Jesus understood that sometimes your assignment requires you to go alone. There's only so far other people can go with you before you got to go to a place of alone. You got to do it alone. You got to do it by yourself. That's why people say you come into the world alone, you leave the world alone. So it's no accident that certain people are called to those end of lifetimes. I have a couple of friends who are pastors and ministers, and they're in a season where God has them ministering to the bereaved. Like that's what they do. They're ministering to the bereaved. God, why would you give me assignment to speak to those who had massive loss in their life? Because you've had massive loss and you understand that. You understand that assignment. You understand what people need. Sissy, listen, many people will get up and they're going to make it about them. But no, when you understand what it is to have massive loss, you don't give people platitudes. You don't say just the routine and rote stuff. Like you give them something that they're going to be able to eat on, something they're going to be able to hold on to, something they're going to be able to use to walk through the challenges of grief and grieving. See, grieving is not for the faint at heart. When you grieve, grief takes you to a whole nother place. And when you understand that and you have that assignment, then you can minister to the people's innermost being. See, it is when people lose someone they love that they most need someone who understands to speak life into them, not to beat them over the head, not to just talk about what an amazing person that person was. No, it is that moment that is designed to both honor the life of the person who passed and speak life into the people who are left. My God, today, it is that moment that is designed to honor the life of the person who passed, the life of the person who transitioned, and speak life into the people who are left to mourn them. Mourning is not a light thing. It doesn't end overnight. And this is the other thing. You got to understand that there are a lot of people who are grieving and who are mourning that aren't even at a funeral home. They're not at a graveside service. They're doing life, but they've had massive losses in their lives, and those losses have caused them to be in a perpetual state of grief. A perpetual state of grief. I'm not talking about you're just grieving. No, you find yourself in a perpetual, I don't know where this is coming from, but clearly, God, a perpetual state of grief. A perpetual state of grief is when you're always grieving. You walking around like grief is written on your forehead. You haven't understood that while grieving is a part of the process, it ain't your whole life. You've made your life about grieving instead of about living. You're spending your life grieving instead of living. And I'm not telling you just forget your loved ones. That's what I'm saying. Jesus said it like this. He said, let the dead bury the dead. Let the dead bury the dead. What does that mean? It means that you can't be so focused on the dead that you forget to live. You can't be so focused on the dead that you forget to live. And that is the assignment. When you find yourself in that place, that's the assignment. Like you got to help people understand, and you still have to live. This person has transitioned. They've gone on to be with the Lord, and you sitting back here, you're grief stricken. Do you know that people who have gone on to be with the Lord ain't trying to be with you? Why would they want to? Listen, I'm just talking now. Y'all bear with me. But listen, when I transition, burn my body up, cremate me. Don't spend a whole lot of money on no funeral because I'm not there. I'm gone. And if I'm with God, don't be trying to call me back. I don't want to come back. I will have done my time on the earth, right? I will have done my assignment here. Let me go and live your life. I know you're going to miss me. I know you're going to miss the sound of my voice. I know that you'll miss my presence. But baby, let me go because I'm good with God. No, no, no. I don't want someone who's going to make it this super sad. Listen, my funeral gonna be lit. Do you hear me? It's not even gonna be a funeral, it's gonna be a memorial service, but it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a celebration of my life. And we ain't just playing gospel music. We finna turn up. I know y'all like this lady crazy. I'm serious. I want my family to know I want them to live. I want them to enjoy life. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have them play some of my son's music. Play my boys' music. It's gonna be inappropriate. It's gonna have some words in it that people ain't gonna like, but it ain't gonna be in no funeral home, no way. So we ain't finna be in no church. We not finna do that. Listen, we gonna be someplace where we can really turn up, and it's gonna be an after party. Period. Because I'm on in the afterlife. Y'all, too many of us are still walking dead. and not living. And when you're the walking dead, that means you haven't understood your assignment, because God ain't called none of us to be the walking dead. He said that I come that you might have life and life more abundant. He said, I come that you might have life. And he didn't say, I come that you might still grieve. He didn't say, I come. Okay, think about this. Now, check this out. Perfect example. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Hold on. Thank you. So, yes, Kim, the after party. Who coming to my after party? So listen. He said, I come that you might have life and have life more abundant. Think about this. When Jesus, listen, y'all, he gave us a model for everything in life. Do you understand that? When Jesus had descended into the pits of hell, took the keys from Satan and came back, and Mary and Mary and Mary and Salome, I think it was, they came to the tomb and they were looking for Jesus. And he began to talk to them. It's a couple of different versions of this story, but they basically the same. They came, he wasn't there. Okay. It was an angel there. He wasn't there though. But when they saw him, I like the version where she sees him in the garden and she thinks he's the gardener. And then he says something that triggers her and she immediately recognizes him. And she says, teacher. And she goes to touch him. He said, don't touch me yet. I've not yet ascended. Don't touch me yet. You can't touch me, but I'm here. And he told her, go tell them that I'm arisen. Go tell them what you saw. Go tell them. Immediately, he sent her out in ministry, and she was rejoicing because he was there. Listen, they didn't have time to grieve Jesus like that. They didn't have time to be grief stricken. And even when he ascended to the Father, he left them with an assignment. He said, go ye into all the world, preaching and teaching the gospel, sharing the good news. And what is the good news? What's the good news? Because I'm convinced that sometimes as Christians, we don't know what the good news. What's the good news, cousin? He has risen. Whoa. He has risen. The Savior is living in us. But see, we focus on the dead and we focus on death. Those people have the opportunity to live in us, in our life, in our memories. We don't have to just be overtaken by grief. I'm not saying don't grieve. Grieving is a natural part of life, right? But when you understand that, why are you stuck there? Why are you stuck? Anytime we're stuck, we're stagnant. And not only are they dead, we're dying. Anything stuck and stagnant is dying. Y'all understand what I'm telling you? God didn't call you to be dying like that on a daily basis. He called you to die on a daily basis. Die to your own desires. Die to what you want. Die to that, but to live your life. There's a song, what's the song? When I was a young, a song, some of us said, when will I grow up? When will I do? And mama used to say, take your time, young man. And mama used to say, don't you rush to get old. And mama used to say, something, 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 something. And mama used to say, live your life. Live. That's your assignment, to live. Live your life. Live your life in purpose. Live your life on purpose. Live your life with intentionality, but live. Live. You shall live and not die. You shall live and not die. So stop focusing on death, the death of others and your own, and live your life. God has given you an assignment to complete in the earth. It's up to you to do it. Make a conscious decision to do just that. Listen, this morning, I'm not going to keep y'all long, but listen, I had to share that with you all. You got to understand your assignment. Understand the assignment that God has for your life. Walk in that, operate in that, and recognize the seasonal shifts. Sometimes we're in different seasons and we're called to different people, and He's doing something incredible and magnificent to keep us focused. Yes, Mike. Live your life like it's golden. That's one of my songs, Jill Scott. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. Golden. Hey, living my life. So if y'all see me out here living my life, y'all can judge me if you want to, but I'm finna live my life, my best life. Why? Because God gave it to me and it's a gift that I'm responsible for. And He's gonna hold me accountable for how I live it. Not just that I lived a life free of sin, but that I lived and I showed people that you can live and still love God and serve Him. That's my heart's desire. The church has run so many people away, so many people away, because it just don't even look like no place I want to be. It looked like a funeral, and it looked like it's a bunch of walking dead in there. We gotta live, and I'm not saying be irresponsible with your life, but I'm saying live it and know that God is God and that He is good and loving and kind and merciful, but will hold your arse accountable for what you do. Bam, there's the key right there, that accountability. Look, you guys, if this word blessed you, sow a seed to $DRV Walters, Cash App $DRV Walters, or PayPal.me/DRV Walters. I pray that this word blessed you. Have an incredible, amazing, and epic day. Be blessed. Mwah.